Okay, my friend. You were saying?
So my poor mother, she also missed her father, mother, her
Who were back in...
sister, you know, and she didn't know where they were, what was happening, because the war was on. There was no communication. The only communication was through the Red Cross. We would get a 3-word letter saying, "We're fine," you know. So that was a hard period for her. Anyway.
And your mother grew up in Livorno?
No, my mother grew up in Genoa.
Genoa. That's why you were in Genoa that time that Mussolini was there making his speech.
Yeah. Yeah, she was happy there. In Genoa, by the way, we had a nanny who would take us walking down a long street called Via Zara that went to the sea. And she had a fidanzato. And in order for us to give her space, she would give each one of us half a lira so we could buy ice cream and buzz off so she could be with her fidanzato.
This was your mother you're speaking of? No,
I'm talking about my nanny.
Your nanny, of course.
Nanny.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's funny. So she would give you the half a liter to get the gelato so she could be alone with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Well, that's romantic, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, that's a sideline.
So we're back in Australia.
Back in there. Then, while we were in Horsham, my father joined the Australian Army. I volunteered. They accepted him as a non-combat unit, which unloaded trains, because I think I mentioned before that each state in Australia had a different gauge railway. So when goods were shipped from Victoria to New South Wales and Queensland, they had to be transferred from one train to another.
That's rather incredible, isn't it? You don't imagine that Australians would do such a thing, build railroads with different...
Well, each state was, they were independent states, and it was not coordinated. Yeah, it's just nonsense, but somehow they were a colony, but they were independent states, and they didn't think of each other as a country.
As a country.
Each state was independent.
Yeah. So your father's working on this transferring merchandise from one...
He first unloaded cars, railroad cars, but since he was an intelligent man, he soon got a job as a statistician. Putting down the statistics of how many rail cars they loaded, unloaded, blah, 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 blah. And that's where he also drew drawings of all his mates and the tent.
And he was, at this point, how old is your father?
41, he was born in 03, so he was 39.
Okay, he was 39, all right.
40. Yeah, he was still a young man.
So now he's working as a statistician for the railroad, and he's a volunteer in the military.
Oh, yeah.
A non-com.
Non-combat.
Yeah.
And he quickly became a sergeant. He got promoted to sergeant.
A sergeant seam, as it were.
Sergeant Seam, yeah.
No longer Cohen.
Sergeant Seam. Albert Seam. From Achille Cohen to Albert Seam.
Ah, from Achille Cohen to Albert Seam. Interesting. And you're Guy Seam.
No, I'm Guido.
Yeah, but didn't you change your name to Guy also at that point?
Yeah, I became Guy Seam. Yeah.
Right, Guy Seam.
Yeah. And my brother from Angelo Cohen became Alan Seam. And he's Alan Seam to this day. And he doesn't even remember being called Angelo Cohen because he was so young.
So little. So what a transferring of, what a change of life. You've changed country, you've changed name, you've changed religion at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's happened.
Okay.
Stop a minute. Yeah, I don't know.